Hello everyone, my name is Chidima Osigwe. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. On today's episode, we have an amazing guest. She is a relationship coach. She also has a YouTube channel. She talks about relationship and marriage. Everybody meet Talk to Lydia. Talk to Lydia. Introduce yourself. Let's hear from you.
Okay, good day everyone. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm so excited to be doing this with Chidima finally. After how many months? I think since last year, right?
Last year.
Last year. All right, thank you so much for this opportunity. Thanks for having me. And I'm really happy. I'm really happy to do this with you. Seriously.
You're welcome. You can check out our YouTube channel at Talk to Lydia. Right?
Yes, Lydia, yeah.
Okay. So Lydia got married last year. What even drove this conversation was...
Not last year,
last
2020.
Sorry. Married woman. It's not easy. As in, staying married for 2 years is no joke again.
Going to 2 years now.
It's no longer newlywed.
No, it's no longer newlywed though. We are becoming a pro.
So when I was studying for ICANN, and we met at the library at one of the lectures, at the lecture center.
I remember that day
at the time, and then we started this beautiful conversation. And Lydia said, "Wow, she's shocked. She did not know that she would start cooking every day." And one of the things that shocked her after she got married was the fact that she started cooking every day. So the conversation we'll be having with Lydia today is she'll be speaking to us about some of the things she found out after she got married that shocked her. Things that people didn't tell her, that when you're going into marriage, when they'll tell you that marriage is like a gift. When you open it, whatever you see inside is what
they don't want to tell you, so they won't tell you. They won't unbox everything.
Exactly.
Until you get there yourself.
So she'll be sharing with us some of those shockers, some of those things that really shook her, and she's like, "Hey, so this one is inside this thing called marriage." So talk to Lydia. We're listening to you.
Wow. Okay, where do I even start from? First of all,
I
don't even want to scare anybody. I'm not here to scare you. Marriage is a very beautiful thing. Marriage is very sweet, especially when you're doing it with the right person. I hope you get that. When you're doing it with the right person, it is very sweet. But when you are with the opposite, okay. Now let me talk about myself. When I first got married, in fact, I got into marriage, or I entered with a lot of expectations, like every other lady out there. My home is going to be a certain way. I'm going to cook by so time. In fact, when I was single, I remember I used to tell my friends then that once it's 6 o'clock, once it's 6 p.m., I'm not entering that kitchen again. I think that's the first shocker. Nibo, 6 p.m., I'm still at work sometimes. So imagine coming back from work and you still have to do it's not like when you're single, right? When you're single, especially me, I'm speaking from my own perspective right now. When I was single, I lived alone for almost like 7 years before I got married. So imagine having that liberty, having that freedom to do things in your own time. I can decide not to eat dinner. I can decide to get back from work and just snack on something, or just, that kind of life.
Yeah.
I get out of bed. Man, I feel like I do laundry whenever I like. But getting into marriage, it nobody tells you that you have to sacrifice a lot. Like, you have to sacrifice your time. Whether you are in the mood to do those things, whether you are not in the mood, nobody cares. You have to do them, because especially people that go, you have that mindset of going to impress as a wife material. You will what? Some ladies, you already have it figured out in your head that I want to impress my husband, that I'm a wife material, so that you know that I came from a good home, I'm well brought up. But when you start doing those things, in fact, to me it was a very big deal. It was a big deal for me, because like I said earlier, when I was single, I was living alone. I was not living with my parents. When you live with your parents, There are so many things you have to abide by their rules.
By their rules,
exactly. So
there's some sort of process.
And then exactly sharing my time with someone. Like for my friends that knows me very well, they know I'm a night crawler. I can stay up late till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Sometimes I'll be editing videos. Sometimes I'll just be surfing the internet. But when I first got married, my husband is going to bed. My husband goes to bed very early, and I'll be like, oh yeah, switch off the TV. Let's go inside. My man, like, I'm the one that want to sleep now.
Go inside. I'll come and meet you.
I sleep. I'm not feeling sleepy. But you know that kind of thing. As a good wife, you follow him, you sleep. But once he sleeps, I pick up my phone again to continue. Now about house chores. Oh my God. Nobody will tell you that house chores will almost make you forget yourself as a woman, honestly. Especially when you're combining this with your career, with other things. You're working class lady. It's really, really draining, especially when you don't have anyone to help you. To me, I can count myself lucky because God gave me a man that is not a alapake. God gave me a man that honestly, sometimes I'll just look at him and say, if I see my mother-in-law, when next I see her, I should give her a very big hug because she really trained him. They didn't train him like as a boy. They trained him to be useful to himself and to every other person around him. So imagine I'm not getting those help. Even with the fact that I'm getting the help, it's really telling on me. Not to talk of not getting the help at all. So house chores is another thing that nobody will tell you that this is going to take your time. Like I can remember when we nearly got married. Every Saturday, when I was single, I like to, it's like everybody in the company is doing laundry every Saturday. So you want to wake up very early in order for you to be able to secure good space to spread your clothes. So if I want to do laundry, when I was single, I like to wake up very early, like 5 a.m. Before anybody wakes up, I'm done with laundry. And then when I got married, my husband said he wants to help. And his own help, he does things at his time. He can tell you, if you want me to help you, you have to wait till like 11 p.m. when everybody has finished washing. That's when we will now start doing our own laundry. And
are you going to spread it?
Honestly, when we first got married, it was a big deal for me because I'm this kind of person. I want it done at this time. And then because he wants to help, he's offering to help. He can't do it at my time. He will tell you, you know me, that it is when I am ready. That is when I will do it. So at first I will get angry, I will get upset, and I'll wake up and I'll be doing it. He will not even answer me. But later, now in my house, we are the last to wake up every Saturday. We are the last to get out of the bed. I don't even stress it because I know if I get up to do it early, I'll be the one to do it myself. So because I want that help, I will have to wait until he's in the mood. And him being in the mood is that I'll be waking up every day from Monday to Friday. He leaves the house before 6. So Saturday, you cannot expect me to jump out of the bed again. So and I think even on Saturday morning now, it's like a bonding time for us as well because that's like the fact that I'm not using that time like waking up early to do house chores. We are using it for other things because even when we wake up very early till date, that's the time. I can say Saturday mornings is always a time for us to gist. We'll wake up, sometimes we'll have gotten up like 7, but we'll still be on the bed, we'll talk about our week and everything. Sometimes we'll go back to sleep again, 10 a.m., that's when we'll get up. So that's that about it. And one thing about women, I want to really say this, is that we should learn to accept help when people are offering to help. Don't be that, what's it called? You want to be superwoman. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Well, you will break down.
That strength also includes that help.
Seriously, most people don't like to accept help. They feel like, me, if my husband tells me, Lydia, leave this thing. You know, I told you I work on Saturdays most times. Yeah. And most times if I'm going to work on Saturdays, my husband, I have to be at work before 10, right? And sometimes if I tell him, I have to wake up very early or to do one or two things in the house before I go, If my guy says, don't worry, I'll help you. Chidima, I go to work. I'm not that kind of person. I'll say, no, I have to do this and do that and do. Who superwoman help? All the people that have been doing superwoman, what has it done for them? I remember when I was single, my neighbor, there was one of my neighbor that I see then, and whenever I get scared of marriage because when I'm going to work, she wakes up, she's the first to wake up in the compound to do house chores. She has 4 toddlers. I'm not, they are not
even grown-ups that can help.
Like the age difference or age gap between our children, I think is not up to 1 year, like 9 months, 8 months. So she has them like that 4, and she does not have help. She wakes up very early. She takes care of the children, takes them to school. She comes back to do the remaining house chores. Before you know it, it's time for school runs again. She goes to school to pick them up. Before you know it's evening. So whenever you see her, she's looking so unkept. So in my mind, I'm like, if this is what marriage is, God, she will marry like this. Especially me that have been relaxed for years, living alone and all that, and seeing a woman going through all that. So most people, what I'm trying to say in essence is that most women do not like to accept help. And this is because most of them have that mentality that I have to be a superwoman. Before I got into marriage, I had my own definition of superwoman. My own definition of superwoman is to see, I accept help when that help comes. And then I don't, what I was so scared of before going into marriage was me losing myself in marriage, losing my identity. I don't even understand. Most women go into marriage with a lot of dreams, a lot of aspirations. But at the end of the day, by the time they enter, see, there are so many things in marriage that will overwhelm you, that can make you even forget that goal or those things you have set to achieve for yourself. And that is one of the things I was really, really scared of. Especially people like you that have you have visions, you have dreams, you have things that you have set to achieve. Of course, I don't know about other people, but when I was going into marriage, even before I got married, I know that so time I should have done this, so time I should have done that. But I was so scared of what I was seeing around me. People just go into marriage and in the next 5, 6, 7 years, you don't hear anything about them. Those things, exactly, those goals they have written down, they are forgotten. It's not like they intentionally want to forget. But the things, is it cooking? You go to work, you come back, you cook, a whole lot. So that's one of the things I'm very scared of, and I'm so grateful to God that God gave me a partner that understands the goal. And that's one thing I would like to say to ladies out there too. Not just ladies, even guys. Make sure you marry somebody that understands your destiny. Should I say it that way? Or someone that understands what you're carrying. Because if you get married to just someone who does not understand, it will be very, very difficult for you to be able to become that God has called you to be. Yeah. But when you get someone who understands that, okay, this person's identity is not just to be a wife. That's my wife. She's a mother, but she has other things that God has called her to do. If you marry somebody that understands that, it will be very, very easy for you, despite the challenges you're going to face. Because trust me, you're really, really going to face I won't say I say challenges. Challenges because they're actually challenges. Of course, you're really going to face a lot in marriage. Marriage is not like when you're single. And that's why I would say when you're single, that time is the time for you to do so many things, at least, even if you're not going to climb up the ladder, like you're not going to be at the top of the ladder while you're single, at least set that pace for yourself so that when you're married, it will still be very easy for you to still take those steps. But if you're single and then all you're doing is to wait for marriage, You don't even know. You want to climb up the ladder, but you don't even know where that ladder is. You don't even have an idea of where the ladder is, and you want to. You are saying that when I get married, I will continue. When you get married, you just
continue
get lost.
on what? You don't even know what you want to do. So what exactly are you continuing?
That's just it.
Because women don't even know that doing house chores, being a wife, is a full-time job. Then if you are now a vision carrier, you have 2 jobs. You are multitasking.
Honestly,
that being a wife and you have a career. Look at Deborah. Deborah was a woman of vision, but she was also the wife of Lapidus. That means she had 2 jobs that she had to perform at. Right? I think something very important from what she said, that women should know how to accept help. And I learned a lesson from what you also said. You said that when your husband started offering help, you were waiting, you wanted him to do them on your own terms. So you want to help me, so you must help me in this particular way. And your husband is saying, guy, it's me that want to help you. Help you.
Ready. Part is convenient, honestly.
Is he not the one that wants to help?
Exactly. I could have just gone ahead and said, since you cannot do it when I want you to do it, I will just keep myself the work.
You will now start complaining that he does not help you.
Exactly. That's just it.
What if your husband is not someone that is homely and he wanted external help? How would you have handled that?
Thank God you said he wanted external help. That's another thing. If you cannot help, at least provide someone or make things easy for your wife. I don't know if you understand.
I understand.
Not that you cannot help me. There's some men out there. You cannot do anything in the house. It's not your fault. I have brothers. My brother cannot boil water. Yes, because we grew up having so many girls around. So there's nothing left for him to do before he wakes up. The girls have done everything. So if my brother boils water, it will get burnt. So he's that kind of person. So you cannot be that kind of man, and then you're saying you don't want help, you don't want house help. That's why most of these things, I think I'll still get to that. I have them written down in my notes. There are so many things that you have to do on your partner. It's not just about marriage is beautiful, like I said, but there are so many things that if both of you, if you don't reach an agreement, there will definitely be problem. Because if you're getting married to a man that does not, it's not like he does not want to help you. He doesn't just know how to do those things. Then that man should be able to allow help. So some people will tell you point blank that I can't allow I can't have house help in the house. My wife has to do everything by herself. Exactly. So if you get married to that kind of person, and then you have other things you're doing, you have your career to face, you have your own personal goals that you want to achieve, it will be very, very difficult. That is why I think in one of my videos, I can't really remember the topic, I shared it that there are so many things you have to discuss before you enter into this thing called marriage. Because if you don't settle those things before entering, it's definitely going to become an issue later. Because I cannot imagine in my head that my husband does not know how to do anything. I won't fault him, because even me, before I got into marriage, I had it all planned out. See, I cannot keep myself. I cannot keep myself. So in my mind, I know that I may not want to accept a living house help. But I'll have to house at least 2 or 3 times in a week. I have that in my head. So if my husband is not giving me, he would definitely accept that offer that we should have another hand or an extra hand that would come and help out in the house. Because of course, I'm not a housewife. So that you can be useful in other people.
You are a wife, not a housewife.
I'm not a housewife. And this is not able to make anyone feel bad. Being a housewife is a lot.
It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. Honestly, women should be more celebrated and appreciated. That's why I usually have issues with people that find it, as in they see it as whenever we are celebrating Mother's Day, they are always like, is it every day? Is it every day? I'm like, they should celebrate women every day.
Every day. There are some women that collect salary from their husband for being housewives because it is a full-time job.
It's a full-time job.
No external help. You do the chores, you take care of the children, you help with their assignments, you go and drop them in school. Some husbands don't even want you to pay for school bus. So their wife is the school bus. And in a situation where there is no car, the wife will jump bike, jump bus to go and drop the children at school. Still, you cannot do anything. Even if you have a shop, you have to lock the shop the moment those children close from school, because the man is going to complain that why is someone else going to pick that? At that point, it becomes my child. It's no longer our child. Why is somebody else going to pick my child from school when you are there? So they have to lock their shop and go and pick up the children from school. Like, it's a full-time job. What's your take on having a live-in housemaid, and why would you support or not support having a live-in housemaid?
One thing about having a live-in house help, I think, is by luck. Like, we've heard a lot of stories. In fact, we've heard a lot of terrible stories about house help. And honestly, me as a person, I've never thought of it that I would have somebody living with me. I don't know if probably later I may change my mind, but I would prefer having someone that would come maybe once or twice or 3 times in a week to help out, and then go. You're not going to sleep in my house, you go. But like I said earlier, it's by luck finding.
What's your reason?
Number one, most of them can just come into the house and scatter. And if you're in Nigeria, let me talk like a Nigerian lady now. Most of these people are demonic. Should I say? Most of them have different agendas for coming into a home. You see a home that everything is going on well. There's happiness in the home. There's peace. There's progress in the home, and all of a sudden, a third party comes into the house, and then everything starts going south. So there are so many stories we've heard. Although my elder sister got a living house help. And seriously, the girl is almost making me change my mind that I hope I'm not going to have, because she's just so should I say so good? I don't know the right adjective to use to qualify Sarah. Sarah is a very good girl. She came from a very good home. The way she relates with the children, they say her sister. Even my sister calls her daughter. So you can imagine that relationship. I think last year December they were here for holiday, and honestly, before I get home, she would have done my own work. She would have taken care of the children, because she came with the children. When my sister was sending them here for holiday, I told them, me, I'm not always around. So Sarah came with them for holiday. She that kind of person that you don't have to tell her you have to do this before she does it. She knows what to do at the right time. So it's by luck. And sometimes you get the one that will almost frustrate your life.
No matter how good you are to them.
Exactly. You can't even leave your children with them. And it's a whole lot. It's a big risk. Leaving your children in the hands of a total stranger, someone you do not know, for the best part of the day. You're coming back late at night. So it's a whole lot. It's a very big risk, honestly. So house help, my take on house help is, if you want to get one, you have to be prayerful. Honestly, there's nothing prayer cannot do. Because when my sister was in search of house help, according to her, she said she prayerfully searched for this girl, because she knows she needed help, and then she wanted someone to stay with her that would help her take care of the children, take care of the house when she's out there. And God answered her prayer. So at this point, my take on it is on this living house help is that if it is something you want, there's nothing God cannot do. So we just bring that right person. I've seen a living house help that lived with a family for more than 12 years. I've heard of one that was there. She was the one that took care of the children. She was there when the first child got admission into school and all that. So she helped the woman to train all her children, which is not good. She would not have been allowed to stay for that long period. So I think if it is something you want, I cannot say living house help, they are bad. Of course we know they are bad, but they are the good ones as well. So you can just prayerfully set. But for me, honestly, before I got married, I've always been saying it that if I want a help in the house, come 7 a.m. you go back, there will be help. You understand? And a whole lot. We've heard a lot about most of these ladies are temptations to men. You get so there are a lot of things that so many people you would want to consider. If you know the kind of husband you have in the house, you know the kind of man you got married to, and you know that this auntie that has big bum, this auntie comes to this house, it will bring trouble. Then it will be best you do. You get what I'm saying? The Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct. Yes. So even if you want house help at all cost, fine. We know you need that help. But then again, you have to apply wisdom. You know the kind of man you have in the house. There's some things that prayer cannot solve for you. You have to use your exactly. It's just like putting fish where there's where you have cats, and you are saying, I trust this cat. This cat is faithful to me. This cat will not eat this fish. This thing, when immediately you are out of sight, the cat will definitely eat the fish.
Finish it. That's true.
So you have to be careful. You have to apply wisdom as a woman as well. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, there's something I want to say.
Okay.
Oh, you have a question. Okay.
Yes, I have a question. When you were speaking, you mentioned that these are things that you should settle with your partner before getting married. Can you give us a list of those things that we should settle with our partner? It's not that we now get into married. We are talking to people that have selected their kind. It's not someone that is unequally yoked or someone who is ready to settle down with an unbeliever and you've not done the character check. This time around, you have done the character check. You have discovered that this person is my kind. I'm not being unequally yoked here. This is the person that God has chosen for me. God has said yes to this union. So what are the things, being human, and we know that we're coming from different backgrounds, what are those things that we should settle, we should discuss and reach an agreement before getting married?
Okay, I like that part. The part you mentioned that you're already sure that this person has been destined for me. But regardless of that, even if God appeared to you as, hey, this is my son, the whom I'm well pleased. If you do not trash out something before going to marriage, it definitely become an issue. And the first thing I would like to say is, the first thing is make sure you make sure that both of you attend premarital counseling. Most people used to feel that, what will they say? There is a lot to learn. Because it's an institution, right? You're going into it, no matter how much you think you love your partner, no matter how much you watch your parents, you feel, I can gather express for my it's a journey you're about to start that you have little or no experience about. So premarital counseling is something you should. It's a must. It's a necessity for you. And secondly, while having conversations, like for me, there's some things. Okay, let me use myself as an example. There's so many things my partner and I discuss. This is even outside premarital counseling. Like the conversations we had with ourselves before getting married. We talked about our financial goals. We talked about the nature of my job, because as a woman, I told it, my husband knows, and I think that is the reason why we are not having issues. My husband knows about my professional exam. He knows that when it's time for when it's getting to a month to that exam, everywhere is always tense. I don't have time for anything again. I just want to read and pass. And because of that, so okay, let me talk about financial goals. Talk about your financial goals. Know the kind of person your partner is when it comes to finance. Don't just assume in your mind that you're seeing people you've heard about, couples having joint accounts, and you too, you want to do bang. Oh yeah, let's have joint accounts. Know the kind of person your partner is when I want to lay emphasis on it. You know the kind of person that person is when it comes to money. There are some people that they are good in every other aspect, but just give them money. When it comes to money, you see the other side of them. If you know this person, what I said is your phone, wouldn't it be wise for you not to have a joint account with this person? Some people will say, we are all one. And in fact, I've watched, what's it called? Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo, in one of his videos, he made mention that you are one already. So if you have a separate account, then it means you are just looking at there are some people that, for example, in my home, my husband is more prudent when it comes to money. I'm an accountant, but I'm not even how will I say, I'm not even shy to say he knows
you are the spender. It's a personality type. You are the spender
more than me. If you put money in my account, I can be coming back from work and see something that I know, this thing will be useful. There was a time I had one money in my account. Someone just complete their please, I need so money. This money was meant for something, and in my mind I'm like, before this person said he's going to return it to so time. So before that time, before I need the money, the person would have returned the money. I said the person will return the money tomorrow. So I'm that kind of person when it comes to money. If you tell me your problem, and I know I have that money in my account, I am that kind of person that will say, okay, I don't have much, but I can. That money may be for something, I'm like, okay, let me just help you with this. So my husband, if he says he wants to do something with it, if you like, cry blood. Except if that is not coming out. Except if that thing is life-threatening. That's when we say, okay, let's use this money for that. So you may want to understand the kind of person your partner is. There are some people that their own is they are not accountable when it comes to money. They spend, and when you ask them, what did you use this money for? The way they'll be looking, you think they stole the money from them. No, they spent it. So if you know it, and money is one of the things that the devil uses to see. A lot of homes have been destroyed because of this finance
of money.
Exactly. So it's a very important discussion both of you have to have. Learn, as in you have to communicate this. Like in my home, we don't run a joint account, but we have a separate account for projects. If we want to do stuff, okay, we have an account, and then we have our individual account as well. Because me, I love to. I don't know. I can see something now, and I want to buy it for myself, and I cannot be calling you every now and then to say, oh, I just feel. Joint account is not my thing. I don't know if you understand. I
can still call the project account a joint account.
Okay, a joint account, but I still have my I love to be, if you know me right from where we were in school, Chidima, you know I like to work for money.
Yes, I know.
I'm working. You want to say, you know that this girl loves money. So I just love that being independent, like the project account that okay, every month so amount goes into it, fine. But that's my own. So you may want to have this kind of discussion with your partner. There are some people that are bent on having joint account. They will tell you point blank. I watched a video of, I don't know if you know CME, she's also a YouTuber.
Yes.
She said her husband insisted that if they want to trash out that before marriage, okay, you see if you want to really accept that or not. So that in the marriage, when you begin the marriage, it's not going to be an issue. Now, the second thing I would say is another thing you have to discuss is allow your partner to know the nature of your job. This is very, very important. And this is for working class. This is not just for the lady alone, it's also for the guy. You know, there are some jobs that when it comes to a certain period, it takes your time. Maybe you need to submit your monthly report, you need to do a lot of things. Maybe you have to spend more time at work and even bring that work home. If you have someone that does not understand that, there's definitely going to be an issue. You're an accountant, and I know you understand.
I understand.
After this meeting, I have a report that I must submit, whether I like it or not tomorrow. So after this meeting, I have to still do that. So imagine I have a husband that does not understand. Why are you bringing work home? There was at the initial stage of our marriage, I was working from home. So imagine my husband. There are sometimes he comes home, he meets we meet dinner, I've done everything. But there are some times that I may be on, we may be having meetings, and then my husband will be the one to come back from work and still make dinner for us. He met me at home. I don't even understand. But imagine I got married to someone that does not understand that all he wants is food.
It becomes an issue of what have you been doing since morning? You've been home.
I see you by this time 8 p.m. My food is not ready. Exactly. It's very important to marry someone that you allow your partner to know the nature of your job. Like if you have other things you're doing by the side, you have to let your partner know the nature of that. And I think the reason why it is still easy for me to still be able to combine work, my family, and then writing a professional course by the side is because my husband understands this. And I could remember like 3 months, was it 3 months or 2 months after our wedding, we were supposed to write an exam. And then I've said, I can read from home. And then when it was like 2 weeks to the exam, I just know that I cannot do this again at home. If I really want to pass, I have to go to the class. And this is me, new wife. You can imagine. And when I complained to him, I didn't say it directly. You know, when you are beating around the bush, but you know where you're going. And someone was like, "Oh, you can go to the class now. Go to the class and read." I'm like, if I go to the class, going and coming is going to be very difficult. I stayed there now till after the exam. And that was it. I stayed. In fact, when I got to the class, my friends that read together were like, "Your husband tried though." Me, guys were telling me.
They know. Very risky stuff.
House. If you cannot read in the house, no, you don't want to pass there. So having someone that understands your dream, your goals, is a blessing, and it is something that you should have that conversation before going into marriage. Now, another thing I'll talk about is your location or relocation. If you're relocating, it really affects. And I want to say this: when I was dating my husband, he was living in Ikorodu. And I was living in Ikorodu. If I'm going to visit him every day, I'll do makeup from my house. You know, you're going to visit your boyfriend. I will make up, I'll be beautiful. Inside traffic, makeup will smell, everything will clean. Everything will clean before I get there. I will be so upset. There's no day I'll be going to visit him that I'll get there. I'll have, you know, when you have that good mood from your house. On the road, everything just changed. I will be so angry. And the one that, as in the last straw that broke the camel's neck was, I was in Yabatech then, so I went there to visit him. I could not go back home that very day, and I had tests the next day. I had tests for 10 a.m. and I woke up around 4 p.m. 4 a.m. rather. We woke up around 4 a.m. Then he was living in Ijede, so from Ijede to Ikorodu, inside Ikorodu, from Ijede to Ikorodu, I got to Ikorodu 8 a.m. from Ijede, 8 a.m. When I got to the BRT park, it was like the old Lagos. It was as if they were having a crusade. You know how? I'm like, so everybody in this place is going out of this Ikorodu. The traffic was mad, and yeah, I'm not exaggerating. I got to school past 1 p.m. I got to school looking so tired.
You just traveled now. That place is not normal Lagos State. You just traveled from Ogun State.
It was even still at the initial stage of our relationship.
Whoa.
We dated for a very long period. It was the initial, I think the first or second year. Since then, I've been telling him, Oga, if you want me to be visiting, you have to pull out of this place. So, location is another thing. And when we were about to get married, so he moved out to Ketu. He was living at Ketu. I told him, Ketu is a very, should I say, risky environment. You cannot walk freely in the morning. As the insecurity in that place is out of this world. So I told him, guy, I cannot live in this Ketu, man. It's something that we both see. Women should not just feel he's living anywhere. We can just pack and go. I used to tell people I cannot live in Ikorodu. It's not like I'm trying to shade people living in Ikorodu. Yeah, I cannot live in Ikorodu because I know I will walk. I will walk. So you cannot expect me to be waking up by 3 a.m. and getting up by 12 p.m.
If you already had a business, that maybe a warehouse in Ikorodu that is operated by you. You'll be thinking differently, but you want to work.
You know you're working.
Mm.
Exactly. So these are some of the things that we crashed out. I cannot live in a place that will not give me peace. That I'll be coming back from work, my mind will be off, or you'll be going to work in the morning, I'll be praying and fasting. God, don't let all these guys my husband on the road, though. So these are some of the things we talked about. And one thing I forgot to mention about job is it's not every man that, you know, I talked about and discuss the nature of your job with your husband. Another thing for the lady, you should know if this man is a man that wants his wife to work. It's very important. There are so many men that you can see them, both of you can even. I've heard someone, we were preparing for exam, and he said, since that day, the level of respect I had for that guy dropped immediately. Because to me, it's like, you are like, if you are not a witch, you are a wizard. Because how can you want me to it is only a witch that wants somebody to do something and not prosper. You see me as a lady coming to write a professional exam, what do you think I want to use it for? I want to use it to cook in the kitchen. I want to use it to go my certificate to sell akara. I don't understand. And it was like, Lydia, now all these things you are doing. So you want to tell me now, you want to be like those career women that will not have time for their husband. I said, I don't even know. You know, when something just meets you unexpectedly, I don't know the right response to give him. And it's like his wife, he has planned it in his mind that he's going to open a shop. It was like, so if I'm dating you and I want to get married to you now, you're telling me that you want to work.
Wow.
So there are some men that forget the fact that they are exposed. Forget the fact that you see them out there working. They don't want some of them just have this, I don't know if it's a myopic mentality, or I don't know what to call it. They just believe that if a woman is busy with other things, she may not have time for them. And I see that as selfishness, honestly.
They admire great women, but they don't want one in their house.
Thank you very much. So you may want to know if that is, as a lady, you may want to know if that is the kind of person you are. Don't forget fine boy. Forget the fact that he's exposed, this guy is learned, some of them don't want it. And you'll be so surprised that you get married to them and then they'll start giving you rules. Like, you know you want peace in this house, you have to resign,
One thing I know, your purpose to your vision to is very important.
Thank you very much. One thing I know that I discussed as if, like, it's like it became a chorus. My husband, when we were dating, was the fact that, I cannot do housewife. Even if anything is going to happen, probably in future, that would. Look, my job must not be the solution to that thing. We must always look for a solution around it.
That is not your job.
That is not me staying at home. Except if I want to. I just feel, okay, Lydia, maybe just relax for a while and then you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But not you mandating me. Guy, I went through a lot. You can't testify to it. I went through hell when I was in school. So I did not intend to do all that and come and sit down in somebody's house and be doing okay, let me just move on. Okay. Another thing you'd want to talk about before going into marriage, your in-laws. You have to talk about in-laws because this is another big issue in marriage. Some people, you may just see them like this. You think, this person is homely, this person loves my siblings. At the end of the day, they will give you a standing order. I don't want any of them in my house. Some people are like that. So you may ask someone like me that I'm so attached to my siblings. Fine, none of them, they are not living here. But most of my younger siblings comes around. And when they are going around as big aunts, I want to give them one of those things in the house. I don't know if you understand. Just make sure you have all this most of these little things becomes a bigger issue in marriage that you've been wondering, and it started just small. So there are so many things that shouldn't be swept under the carpet, and you just be because you're carried away with love, or you're carried away with. And one thing I see that most young people in this generation, one thing I know we do often is that we plan the wedding more than the marriage. See, people can use a whole year, 2 years to plan to have an elaborate wedding. But they don't even have time to sit to discuss that their lifetime journey. They don't have any discussion about it, and they just leave everything. Most of them enter into marriage with a lot of expectations, and by the time they get into marriage and they see that you're not doing this, you're like this, it becomes a very big issue. So you want to discuss so many things with your partner before getting married.
Thank you so much, Lydia. This is really, really impactful. I've learned a lot. So you said we should discuss career, we should discuss finance, we should discuss location, where we want to live. We should also discuss in-laws and extended family. I picked those 4 and I'm holding them like this, right?
All right. It's like I'm talking too much, but let me
I'm not talking too much. Please keep sharing. I'm learning from you. That's why Talk to Lydia is on this channel.
Okay, it's about relocation, right?
Okay.
And I want to say this because most ladies, it's just a norm in Nigeria. I think it's our culture that once you're getting married, you must relocate to your husband's state. Fine. Then I'm not here to dispute that, of course, but make sure you're relocating to a state that will not shut down your life. Because I have a friend that I don't want to mention the name of the state she relocated to with her husband. Honestly, when we went there for our wedding, in my mind I'm like, are you guys relocating to the city of this state or you? No, she said no. She was just all about. We ladies, we are so excited when it comes to my wedding. And you forget to think of how your life will look, as in what your life will become in this environment. When the marriage eventually begins. That state, I'm not even sure my father can. My father. I don't want to say my grandparents. I'm not sure. Hello, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm with you.
Okay. So I'm not even sure my father can live in that kind of environment, not to talk of someone that has dreams, that has goals. And honestly, after a year of her marriage, she regretted her decision relocating to that state, because she could have even convinced her husband that, okay, let's move to the city of this state. Not to it's a village to me.
And it's a lot more easier before you people get married.
Thank you very much. It was, you'll be seeing rock of ages. What will I go and do in that kind of place? What is the name of marriage? So most people feel, that's where my husband is staying. You have a choice. You have a choice. You really, really have a choice. For me, I'm of the opinion that no, if it will not favor you, it's better both of you. I'm not saying you should call up the wedding or wedding plans. Have that discussion. I cannot, for example, you have your career ahead of you. You cannot say you want to travel to one is it urban area now with one man where there is no water, there's no electricity, and you say, oh, you
need to hear the Holy Spirit clearly to do that.
She has to be the one to reach you. You can't reach her. Is that bad? It's that bad. She'll tell you, there's no network, or that she has to even walk a distance before she could even. You can't reach her on WhatsApp. It's that bad. So I cannot say because I want to get married and my husband is the head of my and then you want to shut me down, dear. No, my life should continue in marriage. I did not enter into marriage for my life to just end. And let me use this opportunity to tell them that women have dreams too. See, the fact that we are women does not mean marriage is all that is to our life. Once you get into marriage, your life should just shut down. All your life should just evolve around your husband, your children. No, we all have dreams. I have short-term goals. I have long-term goals that I've set for myself to achieve. And honestly, it would be very unfair for any man to snatch that away from the lady. And I think in this aspect, the lady to ask this man it's not like you're going to be rude about it or you're going to be disrespectful about it. There's nothing wrong in telling your partner that, me too, I want to be somebody in my life. I love to be a woman of substance, and so I cannot allow marriage to end my life. Fine, there's one prayer I usually pray. God, just help me to find balance with my home, with my ministry, with my destiny. I don't want to fail on any aspect. I want to pass when it comes to my home, my goals as well. I don't know if you understand. So
I understand.
I don't want
deep prayer.
Other. I don't want my job to affect my home. I don't want my home to affect my destiny. So it's a prayer I know I pray often. God, just help me find balance. Of course, we have women who are doing successfully well, and then their home is home is something they are proud of, and they are still doing well in the society. So why should my own be an exemption? So as women as well, we should be smart. You should be smart when it comes to this marriage. You not just do as I say. The man is talking. The man, so you too have because you have more say, or you can I don't know how to say.
You can
when thank you. When you're still in the relationship, before you get into the marriage, there are so many things so many foundations you can lay down for yourself before going into that. Except if that man is not somebody that is not trustworthy. Now, when you get into the marriage, you see another thing entirely. So you should be smart as women too.
Thank you so much. It was really insightful. Like, I still have questions, but I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm going to draw the curtain here. It was really amazing speaking to you. So much knowledge.
Thank you so much.
Your husband is lucky. Look at what he married in his house. Let's collect another bride prize. So much knowledge. I hear that. Okay, so you can reach out to Lydia via WhatsApp. I'll put our WhatsApp number in the description box. I'll also put a link to our YouTube channel in the description box. Subscribe, like the video, comment. Let's see your comments. Lydia is a relationship coach. She's a wife to a very handsome young woman, and she's
everybody's saying is that, so I'm a fine girl.
You can see that you are very beautiful now. That's not a bone of contention. But the man is handsome. Let's give him credit.
I give it to him. He's smiling. Handsome man.
And he's really taking care of her. Look at her cheek has increased. She's doing well in this thing called marriage. So she's talked to Lydia. She talks about everything relationship on our YouTube channel. Do well to head over to our YouTube channel to watch some of our videos. Until I come your way next time, I still remain Chidima Osigwe. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks for having me.